above Sonia McClymber in that regard. McClymber gives away 6 centimetres to Van Dyke, but you can't just be tall. It's not good enough. You've got to be athletic. You've got to be able to jump, have strong hands, and she's also got variety to her game. You know, in the last few years, she's added a lot more movement, and that's really difficult to defend against, and she's certainly the complete player.
Well, a massive story unfolding here. The New South Wales Swifts, as we know, undefeated in the home and away season, 13 wins from 13 games, getting absolutely belted 52-38 last week in the major semi-final, and an unbelievably hot favourite to turn the result around here in the preliminary final. They trailed by 9 goals. It's going to take one of the great final quarter efforts. They've started the way they need to with the first goal. Just need a string of 6 or 7 in a row here to try and put some pressure on the Magic. Ali Broadbent, can they do it?
I think they certainly can. We've seen bigger margins go in the last quarter, and there's certainly 14 minutes left to go. So it just depends on how their transition in attack is going. One thing I noticed in that second quarter is they're getting the centre pass away, but it's that next pass that's not coming off from them. They're really struggling to get into the goal third. Kim Green's work rate's really high, and they need an extra drive, especially to the top.
Thanks, Ali. Here's Kim Green, who is working overtime. Tyree, and deflected away from her, but possession will be with the Swifts. And as you mentioned a few times, it's been around this part of the court, but they've really had to work overtime to try and work it through to their shooters.
Yeah, it is, and I'm just trying to put my finger on why, and I think, you know, we talked about the loss of Vanessa Ware early, and it's just that wing attack position that has caused them some issues.
Rebecca Bully comes through with a really clean intercept.
Yeah, there is nothing wrong with that. Disappointing not to see that paid.
Crowd not happy at all with that call. Van Dyke goes through and just duly collects goal number 37.
It's just more the hustle to the top of the circle for the Swifts, and you know, I've said it a couple of times, just so often there's only one option to the ball. They need 2 options, and they need to do that. They need to release the ball.
Great take there from Cox, who really protected the space with her body, and she's been superb.
Yeah, she has, and Casey Williams just getting up, grabbing at the knee. That's the last thing that Magic would want to see. She's been so instrumental for them today, not only today, but also in their semi-final against the Steel. She's just come to life in the last few rounds for the Magic.
Right amount of challenge. Swifts need turnovers, and they need a few of them in a row. Bully did superbly well there to deflect it.
Both players did well, but momentum's an amazing thing, isn't it? You know, that just dropped into Jodie Brown's hand. She was in the right place at the right time. So Magic's still maintaining possession, and they think that they will score here.
Yep, we were.
I think any athlete will tell you that when things are going your way, they're going your way, and when they're not, you've got to work 3 times as hard.
And hard just to flick the switch and get things working the way that you want to. And again, pass goes astray from Cox, and you see some of the frustration creeping in here. The Swifts, they know that it's a year that is all of a sudden gone from being record-breaking to record-breaking for all the wrong reasons. If they go out here in straight sets, it will be a really hard pill to swallow. Plenty of time, trailed by 10 goals, and they just seriously need to score quickly.
They do. Magic just trying to wind down the clock a little bit. They'd love for time to be up in about 30 seconds, but we've got 11.5 minutes to go. Magic don't have to do much different, Luke, in the last 11.5 minutes of this match. They've done everything right so far in this game. They've been really strong defensively, kept their structures, and in attack, they've really controlled the tempo. So they don't need to change anything much. Swifts, though, do. They just need to start to let the ball go, start to have a few more options in attack, and create some turnovers in defence. So it's up to the Swifts to change what they're doing.
And off the foot of Todd, Williams gives away instruction. Catherine Cox playing with a broken nose that requires surgery on Tuesday, so don't underestimate how good she has been in this game today. She shot 24 goals at 86%. Been an incredible performance from her. Tries it from this lady here, who hasn't missed yet. Looking at 38 straight. She's got 37 already, Liz, but as you pointed out, she shoots them all from absolute point-blank range.
Yeah, and that's not to take away from the fact of her accuracy. It's more to point out just how, I guess, good a player she is. She can take the long high ball, she can move, but at the end of the day, she creates space close to the post, so she does everything right to make it easy for herself.
Nice ball in there from Tyree. That'll help some direct, quick scoring. Speaking of direct, quick scoring, they have had a lot of that. Irene, thumbs up, like that one.
Just want to have a look at the penalties now. Just interestingly that the penalty count swung wildly in the first and second quarter. In the third quarter, it evened up a little bit, and I reckon it's because Magic adjusted more than anything else. They were down at the end, where they were likely to get penalised and blown out of the game, and it was their defensive line that figured out, OK, we've got to get off the body, we've got to give a bit of space. Just shows smart play from that Magic defence line.
Lots of smiles here for the Magic and the New Zealanders. They only met once in the home and away season. Our Green, one hand up, but McClamer will come through, think and pick it up. But you can just see the desperation there again. In round 12, the Swifts defeated the Magic by 17 goals, the Magic's worst loss of the season.
It's a huge turnaround, isn't it? I mean, it's a 27-point turnaround as we sit here and look at the moment. The Swifts, 38 points last week was their lowest score in the history of the ANZ Championship across 3 seasons of play. Just thinking about what you said before, Luke, with the Swifts, this time last year they would have gladly taken being in a preliminary final. They were nowhere near the finals yet. Interesting that they're going to be so disappointed should they not pull out a win today, to have made such huge turnarounds, go through the home and away season undefeated, to go out backwards, not what they have set themselves for.
Climber defending really strongly there. And the home crowd here not happy at all with that call. They feel as though McClamer did everything right. We've spoken a bit about the New Zealand umpire at that end. There have been penalties played both ways. Both sides have been penalised enormously at that end.
Just disappointing to see the whistle get blown so often, and it really does disrupt the play. But, you know, as I've said on a number of occasions, Magic have been the first to adjust, and they've reaped the benefits of that.
And again, bully, but having to be patient through this mid-court, being able to just flow through easily and pay some enormous credit here to the Magic. They've turned the ball over again.
And you can just see how good their transition play is. They've just gone streaming down the court, and just watching the Swifts, they're in chase position, but literally they're in chase position. They're a couple of steps behind. Just takes them a little bit longer to adjust because Magic is so fast down court.
Cox over just to slip Williams on that occasion. Unlike Van Dyke, she's put him up from everywhere, Cox, and been able to score really accurately considering the pressure she's been under at 84%. That pass off the ring, and now a turnover the way of the Swifts.
Yeah, Kath Cox really came into the game in the third quarter and just started to get, when she got ball, started to get accurate.
One hung in the air. Green did really well to take it.
Yeah, clever work from Green. Just moved her body, got in the way of Todd. Well, we might be talking like the Swifts might lose this game, but their captain is having no quarter. Wanted to take that penalty quickly, got plenty to say to a team, really wants to run this home.
So 6.5 minutes, 10 goals to try and pull off a miracle here. Ali Broadbent.
Yeah, they certainly are trying to pull off a miracle. The thing I like about the Swifts at the moment, in this quarter especially, is they've just changed their momentum a little bit, and they're fighting with everything they've got. It is a final, and they need to win that. And obviously they don't want to leave anything on the court, and it's one thing they say, but at the moment the Magic look like their intensity's just picked up. Liz mentioned it before, and everything seems to be going their way.
Everything, well, maybe everything now, because the first miss to Irene, she turns around and has a real go at the umpire, and she's filthy. Have a look at her face there. Crowd's involved.
You don't see that very often.
Sorry, ladies, goal attack contact.
She's huffed her way back on the court. Thought she was wronged on that occasion. And the Swifts score, go back, score again, and just apply some pressure. So